Hey everyone, how's it going? Blaine here, Born Stubborn Radio is the name of the channel. You got your subscribe buttons and your thumbs up, the downs, and whatever. Whatever. Who gives a shit? I don't give a shit. I'm not in this to make money. I'm just in this to talk to myself and put it up on the thing. Let's talk about a Blu-ray, for instance, today. Movie review. And this isn't a bad movie. Sometimes the bad movies are fun to review. This is not a bad movie. I gotta still figure out my light. Labyrinth. They just recently re-released this thing. It's like a 25th anniversary special, I guess, on Blu-ray, and my God, this is awesome. Background story. This movie came out in '85. I was just 5 years old when this movie came out. I probably first saw it when I was probably about 8 or 9. 5 is probably too young to show this type of thing, because Henson can do some very creepy stuff. Very, you know, if the kid's too young, you might scare him, give him some nightmares and stuff. But 8 or 9 seemed a pretty good range, because I think that's how old I was when I first started watching this thing. I must have seen it a couple dozen times as a kid. Big fan of this thing. I have it on VHS somewhere. I don't know where the fuck it is, but it's here somewhere on VHS. Now, the Blu-ray, what I like about it is, and I'm a big Henson fan, a big fan of the Muppets and Fraggle Rock and all that stuff, but the Blu-ray of this, it adds so much to the original. But they also didn't polish anything. Like there's a scene in the forest with those weird little pink flamingo troll guys, and they take their heads off and they're throwing their heads around and, you know, doing a little song and dance in the forest. Now in Blu-ray you can clearly see the strings, you can clearly see the editing and stuff, but it made me happy to see that because they did not touch this. They didn't touch the source. They basically took the source, put it up in a higher resolution, which is now why you can see the strings. You could never see the strings before because all that stuff was just naturally hidden by the low resolution of the VHS. So, big smile on my face. The widescreen version of this thing is amazing too, because you get to see so much more stuff. Like there's one scene in here I noticed in particular, because there is special scenes on here, like behind the scenes footage. Special features, and they show you how it came from the VHS to the widescreen and the differences between the two, and it's insane. Like there's one scene in there where like Jareth, he's like talking to Sarah overlooking the labyrinth, and then they're talking about this clock, and I'll shrink this screen up and give you an example. So this is what it would have looked like. He's like, you have 13 hours to get to the center of the labyrinth, and then it would pan over to the clock in the tree. But now in the widescreen version, they don't need to pan nothing, so you can see all this stuff, all of it. And that was one scene as an example. And then there's another scene where he's sitting up on the window, and he's got the 3 glass orbs in his hand, and then he's throwing them out, like I guess they're like his spies or whatever, right? He throws out these glass ball orb things. He's sending them out the window, and they float away. And as he's chilling on the window, you can see David Bowie, like completely in the window. Like he's up on the window. He's kicking back with the leg up on the thing, and he's tossing these orbs out into the sky. And the camera doesn't need to pan around. You can see the orbs in his hand. You never used to see that before. You just used to see him taking them and throwing them away. So it's really neat, like the extra dimension you can get now when they add this widescreen in, of all the extra stuff you can actually see now. Of course, the colors are popping to crazy, and it just looks beautiful. The movie's beautiful. They didn't touch it. It looks the same, but with the added widescreen, you see so much more. Of course, the sound is great, and the movie's fantastic. It holds up. It'll hold up forever. Buy the Blu-ray. Oops. Buy the Blu-ray. Show it to your kids, because it's a great story. Nobody writes shit like this anymore well, I don't have kids. Maybe they do write good stories for kids now, but I don't see them because I don't have kids. But this thing, timeless. Timeless. Alright? Have yourself some good mosh pitting. Go buy yourself a Blu-ray, and make sure it's a Henson Blu-ray, because I just threw mine on the floor. Canteen.